Hello, hello everyone. Welcome back to Sydney Gang Down. I'm reacting to some content of memes. Good. Oh boy. Let's. There's gotta be something. But we'll. Gotta be something. Nothing. Let's see. Okay, this seems interesting. Does he actually have any commentary on here?
Has come out. So, you know what? I'm gonna play it. It's gonna be fun.
Okay, so he does have some commentary. Okay. I saw your thing on. Santa Lucia, yeah, yes, I remember that. Well, let's see.
Devin, day 2.
I haven't played Devin's, day 3 yet. I mean, I played some of it, but not all of it. Let's. I know it just got updated recently. Like I've been playing most of the updates on Dawn Core. My 10s one's all screwed up. The other one, Smoke Room. Welcome. Some of them work, some of them don't work. And fucking, I have not touched Lost Shark twice. I don't know if I'm. I don't know if I want to play Kate's Path or not. And I downloaded one called Lear or Lyr. I know. I know. I mean, I already finished Echo.
has come out. So, I'm gonna play it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be informative. It's gonna be deep, probably. So yeah, it's gonna be a great time. Honestly, I think it's gonna be a great time. So, Devin's hot. Okay, here we go.
I remember this. I remember every time it ended right there at the harbor. I know they released the side story with Rune and Evan. I never played. It's like $5.
29 years. 29 years of wondering what's wrong with the world around you. 29 years of believing.
Quality looks kind of bad. Is there any way they can improve? No wonder it's 360. 20? Yeah, wow. There you go. I think that'll help out a lot.
Here I am in a new place. What really has changed? What was it I was running from? Walking through these streets of cobblestone and brick, the sky above seems different. Alien. Looking at the bare trees and mountains, find myself thinking of fields of gold and endless roads, so very familiar with the neuron pathways formed by habits. I hated being there, yet now I'm coming back to these spaces more and more often. Tightrope dancing, a constant fight to remain in balance. What is the fuck is going on? What is it that's pulling me down?
Let's go, Jim.
Huh?
He's so cute.
Little whistle baby.
Back at the guest house, I think I need a bit of familiarity.
Back at the guest house, I think I need a bit of familiarity. The smell of the wood, the mountain air, and now that almost everyone left their rooms in quietness. I really like this place. We have a few hours of free time now. Maybe we can take a look at the photos I made. There's all.
Alright, so we have a few hours of free time now. I'm reading it myself because unfortunately, I don't know if he has like a professional mic or not. Obviously, can't project his voice. Look at the. Maybe I could take a look at the photos I made. I start working on them earlier, or else I'll have on. So he's talking. So it looks like it's from main character's point, Parvo. If I remember that. That's I think that's his default name. I'm so used to Carvin because of Drake Wing Gaming. I know he's yeah Drake Wing Gaming. I know he's done a lot Encore's content. Did the Broken Harbor thing. But what about the others? How far pop up? Look at your playlist. No, I know they've been playing so many different games, and like some of them I never even heard of, like Wayfinder, Scary Gourmet, Beyond the Harbor, Homes Somewhere Else. I played In Case Emergency. See, it is Broken Harbor, which is pretty short. Light My Way, Fueled by Insanity. Like some of these I never heard of, like Lust Shards. Okay, I've heard of. I played both. Yeah, I think I played like two routes. Right? I played Gallon and Aiden. I don't know if I want to go to Tate's path or not. In Homecoming, After Passion, Delio. Unfortunately, the route I want is not out. Like the other routes are. I might only see this random floating guy here. Can someone clip this, please? No. No, Jesus fucking Christ. You need time out for that. Yes. I didn't think I would do this thing. No. Oh god. Right. Um, Branded. Heard of? I think is this. I think I've said it. I've heard of that one. Shelter. Yeah. Inertia. Yep. Neutral Hotel. Yep. Nigujishi. I know you played Nigujishi ending. Did you? Oh yeah, you got the Homeward Bound ending. So that's like the best. Yes, I think that's like what the best ending for at least with Tiger's route compared to I think, in my opinion that's like the best Tiger. Obviously, it is best ending for Nicolau, Cloud Leopard, and then there's no real good ending for Senpai unless you go back and get all. I told him a long time ago. But hopefully, you take my repeat. Oh man, what happened to repeat? Good. Silent Memoir. I was watching that one and I lost. I need to go back because I actually like Luffy. Maybe I should be watching that. I know with Echo, I think he's finished every route except for Flynn's. Maybe I could check those out. Good they are. Honestly, he's still on Nate's path on Santa Lucia, and he barely got into Arc Two, Chapter Two, Arc Two. He's like Act One is like super long, maybe a little too long at times. Boy Hounds, obviously, all the Echo shorts. Yeah, I don't really care about shorts. Miko's path is good. Any updates for Rune? Rune's path got it better. This is new. I've seen this.
Whatever you have to do.
You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming, and so new on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you to the Let's Play episode of Dawn Chorus Runes Path. So y'all, just to let y'all know that our Patreon is now up, and for as little as $5, y'all can help support the channel and get some awesome rewards like access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm Chan, you are up, and let's go. I'd like to help him, but I don't know how, so I'll walk along, here for him if he needs to talk.
Yeah, it's oh yeah. I'm trying to remember what happened to Rune's path. I remember now. Talk to him. Taking little feels for him, like like a peek. I'm in the shower. It like I know you guys did a bunch of swimming. Hugged you. They're doing stuff. Roof, and you slept in his arms. Now you're out here. This is the like I think that 3 day event down to like the main downtown. If I'm remembering correct. This is everyone gets these 3 days. I, I replayed this 3 days a couple of times already. I play already with Rune, Bjorn, Orloff, and Coach Devin. Coach Devin, I need to go back and play his actual day 3. Rune hasn't had an update. think Torlov kind of had an update. Coach Devin got one. I'll have to sit down and play his one.
Strap your seatbelts, please. We're leaving in a moment. The bus doors close with a hiss, followed by the engine's low rumble. Like a beast waking to life. Everyone's in, and without any delays, the vehicle starts. Soon we're out of town, back in the woods. Rune is looking out the window at the thick cover of clouds draped across the gloomy sky. Against their gray backdrop, his face reflects in the window pane, expressionless and distant.
Oh yeah, it was so stupid. Complete accident. Freaking Blake hits runs into him and he knocks his phone into the ocean. Most random thing ever. I think Lake was with fucking Morgan. Oh, like yeah.
Looking forward to being back in the guest house? How about a visit to the sauna once we're there? I met with only silence. Is there anything I can do? I want to help, but I'm afraid it'd only make things worse by pressing. I feel sorry for him. Having a phone isn't just an inconvenience, it's like losing a limb. You don't have, like, a backup phone or anything that you could use now? It's not about the phone. Huh, what's it about then? I had all my demos on it, all the songs I was working on, all the tabs for them, all the newest recordings. I can't remember when I last did a backup. It was before summer. Oh,
Oh.
that is worse. A phone is just a phone, a replaceable tool, but your own work? How much did you have recorded on it? I don't even know. I record things so I don't have to remember them. And you don't remember any of the things you were working on? I remember the ones I tried to put into a shape lately, at least I think I do. But that's far from even a quarter of them. It's months of my work flushed away into the sea. I can't find any words that can make the situation better.
Oh yeah, that's right now. Yeah, they don't talk too much about it, but obviously Rune likes things like obviously he plays like I think like the guitar. I think mine is just the acoustic guitar. Plays anything.
So I try to comfort him the best way I know how. I lean on him and drape my arm around him, pulling him close into a hug. He tenses up, then relaxes, leaning back on me with a deep sigh, like an instant pot releasing all its built-up pressure. The scenery scrolls behind the window, the land unraveling, and holding each other, we feel the forest and the snow enveloping us in an embrace of their own. Time stretches forward as the road before us, slow and droning. But eventually, I feel some hesitation in Rune. He pulls back, smiling, but in his voice there's still a hint of sadness. Thanks. Eat up, Bjorn. Your route's coming up soon. The next one's gonna be Torolf, and then we're gonna do Bjorn. It's good to be back. You didn't want to go back. It was good to be in the town too. There's still tomorrow. We could make.
Is it a wiki? Is it a wiki? uh, is there anything interesting I might be missing from these characters? Here's the main guy, Arvo. Let's see. Arvo, the main protagonist of Dawn Chorus. Him being the main character all makes him the main love interest. All other characters. However, his parents most in Dawn Chorus since he played a character VOD. However, his sprite in the game involves him wearing a green jacket and red scarf and sometimes a dark gray t-shirt, saturated navy. He has white hair with black accents, so maybe black hair with white green eyes, a big nose, big fur, along with white fur below his eye face, going he has black stripes along can be seen. It's extra. Oh my god, it's that guy, Vincent from Great Troubles. Holy shit. Remember Great Troubles? Does anybody remember that shit? Yeah, yeah. Goddamn fucking bien, very bien. Coach Devin, anything interesting? No. 32 years old. No, I'm older than Coach Darren, and I'm not as hot and sexy as Titus. Like, anything interesting? Fine. Let's see. We got something on here. Let's see. Bruno is rather tall enough that our needs eye contact with. He wears a black varsity jacket with a collar, white cuffs along the teeth, brown pants, and brownish. His dark auburn hair, auburn hair. Got it. He has antlers. He has green eyes, gray fur, white fur, body, red fur. Orientation unknown yet, but probably gay. He's 22 years old. I am being 22. Miko, the little wolf knows Miko. And his little bleep. See, Miko is one of the shortest characters in non-core, as mentioned by Marvel, and he's late boy growth spur, a baby blue denim jacket with a red sweater underneath. He also wears black pants, black fur, and black glasses, along with eyes, like brown fur and pale brown fur in the muzzle, going all the way down his body. Fur is really fluffy, very fluffy tail. He's a cute, adorable little wolf. Finland. Ira, Rune. He's bisexual. Maybe he mentioned that. Number 27 years old. I remember being 27 as well. All these people are younger than me. And it hurts. That's it. I'm guessing there's not. I saw Sydney. Alright, let's go back.
Make some plans together again, if you'd like to. Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Tomorrow, though. Sure. See you at supper then? See ya. Play ya. Rune deflates again, the mask of a smile slipping off his tired face. He looks a good few years older than yesterday. Tired? Yeah, just fed up with things. Be rad if anything went well. 2 awful days in a row. Aw, it wasn't all that bad. Come on. Being benched and then losing your artistic work? That's a lot for 2 days, especially for someone as dedicated as Rune. Hell, I'm awful at consoling people. I mean, it's rough. You shouldn't beat yourself over it, though. None of it is your fault. I'd argue with that. It was great to sit together in the tea house, by the way. I really enjoyed it. If you'd like to go again tomorrow or in Anslo, I'd be down for it. And at least we're in a nice, comfortable guest house on a pretty cool camp. Things could be worse, I guess. It's nice that we have a swimming pool here. Actually, I think I'll go for a swim. I always feel good afterwards. A swim. Maybe I could use some activity too. Maybe I'll join you. I thought about working on some photos, but I'll have time for that later. We stopped before the door to Rune's room, the deer putting a paw on the metal handle. Feel free to join. Okay, I'll go to my room and drop off my stuff and grab my swimming trunks. So, see you in the locker room in 5 minutes? Maybe 10. I'll rest for a bit first. Man, my room again.
Not gonna lie, this is like the most uh, I know, like a wood cabin log area, or these kids to go out and college kids to go out and study and stuff. But I'm not gonna lie, this bed looks really uncomfortable. It looks pretty plain, and I'm not gonna lie, this fucking blanket looks like so shitty. Like it looks like so plain. And then he has this fucking picnic table looking desk here. That doesn't look very sturdy. Like maybe I'm so used to seeing so used to like hotels in America. You have a real nice bed, a nice small nightstand, a TV, and you have a desk. And you have like the like you have the curtains, these big curtains, and then you have like the big ass like fucking fan, like fucking like AC unit right there. You
I miss
can
it
be nice and
already.
cold.
The day seems so long. My body yearns to go straight to bed and lie down, face to the pillow, but I know I can't. If I lie down now, I'd fall asleep immediately and wake up in 2 hours, groggy and dazed. So I drop my bags on the floor, take out my camera, and put it on the table next to my laptop. Ah, hell, I still have a lot of time. I open the laptop and plug the camera in to transfer the photos. 4 or 5 minutes pass. All the photos are on my hard drive. I took a quick scroll through them. Looks like it was a good haul. I got a few nice ones. Got it, y'all? Okay. 1 second, y'all. Oh, 1 second, y'all. Water time.
I was abducted by the RDA. Now that I'm free.
But it's time to go. I grab a towel and swimming trunks and leave the room. Carvin! At the entrance to the lobby, I bump into Lake, standing beside the panoramic window looking outside. I glance in the direction he was looking, but there's nothing unusual in the forest and mountains behind them. There are deep shades under his eyes. He looks tired, but foremost, sad. What's up? Is everything alright? No. Carvin, I ruined Rune's phone. I should get him a new one, but I can't afford it. He didn't bring that up, and I'm thankful, but it would kill me financially, but I feel so bad about this. What can I do? I've been looking for him to apologize again, but I want to repay him somehow. Poor Lake. It is his fault, but accidents happen. He only had good intentions. I have no heart to tell him about why Rune was sad about the phone. That would break him. Hey, it's okay. Rune isn't angry at you. It was an accident. He doesn't blame you at all. I snuggle the lion closely. Like Rune, he's tense at first, but slowly relaxes and puts his arms around me in return. His flannel shirt is soft. All of him feels soft and vulnerable and very light. I can feel his ribs through the thick material. If you feel like you should, you can go to Rune and tell him how you feel. I'm sure he'll understand. He went to the swimming pool. You could catch him there or try later. Though, in your place, I'd leave him alone for now and let him process things first. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, like I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Lake, but I do feel sorry for him. Yeah, an accident, knocks Rune's phone in the ocean. Not like he did. It's not like he did on purpose. Not a bully from like high school movie.
And maybe I should. Yeah. I'll try at supper. I'm sure he'll be there. Good. How's your day in general? Maybe he'll cheer up if I distract him with something else. At the shore, he ran up to us all happy, so I'm sure the rest of the day must be nice. Good. I was in a bar with Torolf and tried some nice beers. Torolf, huh? I thought you'd go somewhere with Jorgen. Jorgen went to some kind of gallery. Didn't sound like my thing, and I agreed to go with Torolf earlier. I like spending time with him. Where are you going, by the way? I'll join Rune at the pool. I could use a swim. I feel so sleepy after today. Good luck. I'll go check out what Jorgen's up to. Poor lion. I'm glad it wasn't me who knocked the phone into the sea. I'd paid for it, but I couldn't look Rune in the eyes again. Oh my. There you are. Sorry, I got caught up in something.
Back. Now he has to build a little snout. Big thick ass eyebrows. Like his antlers.
Rune doesn't look a single bit bothered anymore, unlike Lake. Either he's so easy to rebound or so good at hiding his emotions, at least until they burst like yesterday. I moved to open a locker and begin undressing myself. I haven't listened to much music today. If the day went differently, I'd have put on the headphones on the bus, but I had a gloomy stag to perk up. I'd love to listen to some nimble foxes now. They'd fit this place well. Or Perfume Prodigy. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh.
I haven't listened to him in a long time. Same with Washes. but I feel like listening to something unabashedly and shamelessly gay. Being here in the locker room with Rune, this seems the most fitting. Cover art for one of the early Perfume Prodigy albums pops into my mind, with bare-chested boys sitting on a bench, two of them linked by a piece of cloth. Something in it touched me deeply when I first saw it, and sometimes when I think of my attraction to someone, I see it again. The connection, not shown directly, but through a symbol.
Look, this big giant sensor part right here to cover up. Because if he slides over here or here or something, PP
Something delicate
over.
and barely visible. My attraction sometimes feels like that too. Concealed but confused but consuming. Holding my swimming shorts, I feel a great tiredness overcome me. I don't want to swim. I'm tired beyond any physical activity, and I haven't slept enough for this. Second, y'all, it is water time. And we're back, y'all. Okay. Holding my swimming shorts, I feel a great tiredness overcome me. I don't want to swim. I'm tired beyond any physical activity. I haven't slept enough for this. Rune? Yeah? I don't think I can swim. I'll just go and rest in the sauna. Oh, everything okay? Yeah, I'm just tired. It'd be nice to swim, but I feel like even more tired than just thinking of it. I get it. So, catch you later? At supper, perhaps? Sure. Rune waves to me
That's
before heading to the pool. As he walks away, my eyes involuntarily follow his butt, framed by his cute tail and muscular legs. I'm reminded of all the complicated feelings I'm feeling towards this stag. I admire him, I really do. As I started to talk with him, I'm getting to know another side of him, too. A more approachable one. Someone to befriend, not admire. Someone to have gay sex with? No. Okay. Sauna. The wave of heat licks first at my nose and at my fur, all wet from the shower. I breathe in slowly, letting the hot air fill my lungs. In and out.
you don't want to stay in the sauna for too long. Fucking lot. I'm like really dehydrated.
In. A feeling of familiarity overcomes me, and my body relaxes, knots untying and strings coming undone. On light pause, I walk up to the window and sit down on the middle bench, towel underneath me. I keep the slow rhythm of breathing counting in my head. A long inhale to the bottom of my lungs, and then an exhale twice as long until I'm empty. My mind empties too. As I look outside at the forest, all the mountains behind it, their outline barely visible in the dusk, all the snow and clouds and birds fighting with the wind, my thoughts quiet, and a serene glow takes their place.
One thing I have noticed, like at least with this game, they do a very good job of like saying a bunch of words. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like they're very flowery, but I don't mind the extra words and descriptions. Someone's mood or body or like mountains and birds and like I'll see those kind of like certain like scenes where I think they're like in their own mind or almost in another plane of existence. They have those say like maybe abstract thinking, right? And almost like they're reading some type of poetry, haiku, something.
The sky pulls me in, vast and open, and I'm no longer in the sauna. My mind wanders, traversing fjords and ridges, swimming down waterfalls. It's nice to just sit and do nothing, not take out my phone and get immersed in the constant stream of content, entertainment, cut myself free from all that and let my thoughts roam. I like boring lectures for the same reason. I'm forced to sit in a hall for an hour and a half, bored and dreaming. I always leave them with a ton of new ideas and thoughts. Maybe I should look for
Unfortunately, you
more
left a
occasions
sensor
to be
board.
bored. The door suddenly opens and someone else enters the sauna.
Oh,
Miko! Oh, Miko. Hey! Hello! Good to see him here, actually. I haven't seen him for most of the day. I think we only said hello to each other at breakfast. I'm glad. I feel comfortable around him. You get tense with some stranger around. Now, it feels like we have the sauna for ourselves, instead of having to share it with someone. How was your day? Draping a towel over it first, Miko props himself up on the top bench. Quite good. I went to a record store, and then Bjorn took me to a sort of art cafe that was nearby. Art cafe, huh? What made it an art cafe, exactly? If I understood correctly, they hold concerts and poetry slams there. We'd have to wait until the evening for any of the events, though. In any case, it was a truly nice spot. I wouldn't mind going there again. Imagine paintings and posters everywhere on every wall, handwritten menus and notebooks, lots of corners and semi-private spaces. Sounds nice, yeah. How about you?
that actually does sound kind of nice. cool to go to like a nice poetry cafe or something. Check out that.
You. Quite nice too. Rune took me, Jorgen, and Lake to a tea house. It was more fun than I thought it would be. The tea menu had like 60 pages. We ended up trying 4 different teas, and they were very different. Though the end of the day in town was rather unpleasant. After I went to the shore with Rune, someone ran into us, quite literally, and knocked Rune's phone into the sea. Actually, should I be telling him about it? Maybe. He's a close friend. After all, he knows the stag as well. I don't think Rune would mind. But it was beautiful at the shore, at least. The sunset was stunning. The harbor, too. I got some nice photos. Poor Rune. Yeah, he's not very happy. What now? Did he get the money for a new phone? No. Well, it's complicated. I don't know what else to say. Maybe it was a bad idea after all, because it's a conversational dead end. Maybe if I wasn't finished, I could laugh it off and move to a different topic. I wonder how different it would be if I was Bjorn in Portugal. Maybe I would be just the same. How much of myself is a product of a culture? How much of my upbringing and how much of it comes from some deep core of myself that would stay the same no matter where I'd grow up? Like, it is water time. Could I be different if I tried? Ships at sea, drifting in all directions. Could I be someone different if I tried? I've only ever been myself. But I know others. I can put myself in their shoes. There are people I know.
Yeah, this is the one I'm talking about. Like, sometimes it's all black with like just black, some background. This is that weird like kind of poetry, meta shit. I don't know. We want to call it like self reflection, all that, and like it's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite things about this game. I'm not gonna lie. I saw the other path with Free and Miko, and that was a really painful one.
Closely. Maybe I won't ever reach the core of what it means to be them, some all-encompassing epiphany, but I know them well enough to know how they function, what they feel, what they think about. But if I started to act like them, reason like them, wouldn't I still be me, but wearing someone else's habits? Or would I change who I am this way, mold myself into something new? Maybe I could change personalities like gloves, depending on the situations and people I meet with. Wish I could be someone different sometimes. That I could live my life and not care. Be like Carvin. Have my
You mentioned so. Is this from? Could be from Rune's path, Rune's point of view. Because we've seen that a few times. I think we've seen that with like Coach Devin before, and with Rune, I think Miko. I don't know about Bjorn. Blah.
passions and pour my heart into them, but not feel like a total failure when anything goes wrong. He's so wholesome that I can't help but try my best to act like that around him too. To be the best version of myself. Oh, this is Rune. Why is everything falling through? How could I break down like that yesterday? Why is everything falling through? How could I break down like that yesterday? What's going on with me? I need to control myself. I need to get better. I have to work more, work harder. My muscles burn as I cut through the cold water like an arrow. It's good. This is what I need. I need to push myself harder and harder and harder. Then I can overcome anything. How bright the moon is today, shining like a bright drone, like the sound of a cello bow dragging across a xylophone bar. An old friend. A song starts playing in my head. A stuttering synthesizer, like a bird chirping. Digital wind conjuring images of castles long forgotten. Then organs playing 4 chords and repeat, only 4, no more. A liminal hymn. How many nights have I spent listening to it? Lonely, cold nights without as much as a single light, other than the LCD display of my CD player. I feel the weight of these nights on me. I've never shaken them off. I was abandoned. Lying on the floor, hard wooden panels under my back, I listened to John and Balance list fantastic artifacts that seemed to hold some ancient purpose, searching for something that could bring you back to me. But you never answered. Why do we talk now? Sitting opposite each other, here in a foreign country in the middle of nowhere, reunited. Once again together. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. This is getting wild, y'all. Alright, thank y'all so much for watching.
That was
Don't forget
4
to like,
months
comment,
ago.
subscribe, ring that notification.
I think there's been
super thanks or tip if you
been an
can. It
update.
always helps. And check out that Patreon, y'all. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Wait, place the call. Let's see. Place that one with the tiger guy.
Began contorting, becoming large. Episode of A Place to Call Home. That's right, y'all. A Place to Call Home is back. I cannot wait to delve right back into it. My save is a little ways. I don't know how far way back. It's been a long time since I played this game, so yeah. Let's go ahead and jump right back into it. I'm very excited. Anyway, alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. All right. I don't think I'm too far away from where I was. All right, Philio, Phil. Look over there. You look in that direction. Nice how you have a stock of those in your house. Y'all, Ludus. He goes on ahead.
I'm trying to remember what the hell happened in this game. This game was like so weird. I remember this game. I remember him watching this game. This game was like the weirdest thing ever. You had like, the dad, he adopted, two boys. He had a dad, his grandpa, and then there's the guy with the fried chicken. I think he was like a cop or something. I can't remember. It was like, this was like a weird ass one. Time with this one. That's because I'm mad. Let's see. Furry journalism and Beyond the Harbor. Do this one. I think this one sounds familiar too.
Whether it's next level support.
You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Let me see if I.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. It's sending me on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with another Let's Play episode with a new Let's Play series on Beyond the Harbor. So since we're done with a Scary Gourmet, I wanted to fill in the slot with another spooky game, and you can probably tell from the droning background music that this is going and the red backlight, the silhouette. This is going to be real spooky one, y'all. I'm actually thinking that this is probably a Lovecraftian detective furry visual novel. If that's the case, then sign me the fuck up. I am all into this. Alright, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Boy. Alright, let's do it. Beyond the Harbor. Ooh, nice art.
Yes, I think I have seen this one.
As it rounds a turn.
Beyond the Harbor. I think someone else may have done this. Was it I know I've seen someone else play. Was it Nero? It could have been him. Yeah, I guess it was Nero Belzer. This sounds so familiar. Like I have seen this. Vivian J just after like I don't know, long ass time. Best friends forever. Wow, there's been more updates. I know. Oh yeah, I remember he did do. I I remember for a long time I avoided Arches. I didn't know if it was gonna be good or bad, but damn now, I know he does a really good job of with the voices. He does a really good job with the voices. Wait, there was an update for Ken? There was an update for Ken. Shit. Ken's been a long time. But I watched all. I remember the end. I don't know if I can watch this. Subway on fucking on Twitch.
At least I think it was a turn.
Alright, let's get
About
back to
20 minutes ago, a dense fog had rolled in, obstructing my view of about anything, really. Not that there was much to look at, anyways. Even an outsider like me could tell this little town was out in the boonies. About 5 hours into the trip, the road became particularly rough, and I couldn't focus on anything other than the seat shaking me around. My ass hurts. It would hurt a hell of a lot more if Mama knew where I was actually going. I was lying through the tips of my teeth when I told her I was going to spend the weekend looking for a new job. In reality, I'm hooking up with a sketchy dude I met on 4chan. Oh,
What?
God, that's a bad idea. Jesus. Kid, what the fuck is wrong with you? I don't think she'd ever forgive me if I got myself murdered. But it was time I stopped dreaming and took the leap. Yeah, dude, you're gonna get murdered. Holy shit, you're gonna get murdered. I raised a finger to my head to adjust my earbuds. I bought these ones recently, wireless. They were a convenience of the modern age for sure, as long as you disregarded them getting lodged in your ear canal, because the tech wasn't quite there yet. Speaking of, hey, where are you now? I quickly type out a response. Just pulled into Harborton. It's a town called Harborton? Really? Jesus. The town also sounds sketchy. I think we're heading to the main terminal now. The reply is almost instant. I leaned back into the seat, nose pointed skyward, and let out a long sigh. I've got butterflies in my tummy, and it's likely not just from the sudden change in altitude. I thought he was on a bus. Yeah, I thought he was on a bus. He's got to be on a bus. That can't be a plane.
Yeah, he's on a bus.
This doesn't look like a plane at all. Okay, maybe it's a sky bus. I jolt back up when I hear the loud ding of the intercom overhead. Now arriving, Harborton Central Terminal. Without even thinking, I bring my free hand up to my chest and grab a ring, hung gently around my neck. I mumble a quiet prayer before I shove my phone back into my pocket and stand up. Too quickly as the blood rushes into my legs all at once, and I'm overcome with painful pins and needles. Fuck! I blurt out the word as I was.
I'm guessing he's like, he must be on a train. I mean, unless the train's like going up and down or below the ceiling, I have an impact on the ear canal.
Taught not to say in situations like this, drawing the attention of an elderly woman seated a bit further ahead. Hey, what's that mouth? There are children here. I raise my hands and shake my head, making eye contact with the terrifying husk of a woman. Sorry, please, I apologize. I could play an innocent when I needed to. Wasn't much of a potty mouth, but I wasn't a saint either. I see her eyes squint at me from inside those sunken sockets. She quietly judges me, and after deeming me unworthy, she purses her lips and returns to, actually, I had no idea. Perhaps this entity was put in place to monitor public transit for all eternity. I was fortunate enough to survive this encounter, but any further assault on family values would have dire consequences. Second, y'all. Water time.
Oh, yep, you got the little 6 slot. Just
Breathe
like
another sigh. This time
any
it was
other
quieter
game.
than the last. I kept my suitcase on my person since I nearly lost it on the first bus transfer. It's nowhere near heavy as it only packaged the bare essentials. A couple outfits, my laptop, my phone charger. Maybe I should have bought a ticket.
You mean a jacket?
I fill my stuff up. I wheel myself up to the front of the bus, passing the dried-up creature vaguely resembling a woman. Her hollow eyes stare right through me, her mind no doubt conjuring some story about how a beaner assaulted her on the bus to post to Facebook. Maybe just calling me a dumbass instead of something outright malicious. I bet you Gladys and Barbara will get a kick out of that. I chuckle quietly as I step out of the interior I had barely had enough time to grow accustomed to. As soon as I do, I'm assaulted with a chilly ocean breeze. He's cute. Definitely should have brought a jacket. Oh well. Travel guide wasn't kidding. There was a sort of saltiness in the air that's hard to describe. I'm a long way from home, huh? Gone were the endless fields of corn, and in their stead, salt. Great.
Oh, you was at a place that had a whole bunch of cornfields, and now you're at a place that had a whole bunch of 5 hours. Unless this part of the bus ride was 5 hours. Was he went from like Kansas, like what, Louisiana?
Start, huh?
How far would that be? Let's see. Bus for city to leave. Do we have a 600? It's like 84 miles. My God. Go on Google Maps, maybe. We got a 13-hour drive. Fucking, let's say Kansas City. He's had a bunch of cornfields to Louisiana. On there, he's been sitting on that for like 13 days. Greyhound bus. It'll go from Kansas City down to Houston, or you go around through Mississippi, Louisiana. Okay, that's a long ass time. That's crazy though. All right, let's go.
Huh? I wonder how good the food is. My daydreams of food are interrupted by another sharp ping from my phone. I pull it out of my pocket and open it up. Behind you. Gah! I stumble backwards, landing hard on my ass, and twisting my tail in a way I describe as less than comfortable. Standing over me, victorious, was the man I'd come to see in the first place. Damn, that never gets old. You think people would stop wiping out when I spook them, eh? Blinked my eyes repeatedly, making sure this was actually the guy that sent me his picture.
Is he like, he's like a Siamese cat?
He was quite a bit shorter than I was expecting. Juan, right? He grins, polished teeth reflecting on the sunlight. I certainly hope I didn't just sexually harass a random guy. He hesitates for a second,
Wow.
weighing his words. Or maybe I would if the random guy was as good looking as you. What? Hey, red fucking flag there. The toothy smile returns as he reaches out a hand to help me up. Well, that's one hell of a first impression. Second impression? Fuck, I don't know how online meetups work. He slits his eyes at me, massive grin never leaving his face. I have a feeling you knew what you were signing up for. I tilt my head to the side a bit as I chuckle and take his hand. Guess you're proof that not every anon is X is a neckbeard. He pulls me up with a surprising amount of strength, especially for his size. You look like I could grow a beard, even if I really wanted to? Nah. He lets go of me as my feet end up square on the ground again. I'm a lot of things, but a bear ain't one of them. Taking out water time.
Okay.
Wix is your platform to perform on.
I'm not gonna lie, like the beginning is kind of hilarious. He meets this random dude for a hookup on 4chan and ends up in the most random place ever. And yeah, that's like that's so stupid.
The cat looks me up and down before resuming. You won? You've seen your fair share of bears, eh? I shake my head. Nope, it's just JC, thanks. He slits his eyes and licks his chops. And you can... Okay, this is really fucking weird. You can call me daddy if that's what you're into. The entire station goes eerily silent as the cat's bold flirting reaches a climax of sorts. Unable to hold it in, I clutch my belly as it shoots a deep laugh into my throat and out of my mouth. Feline's eyes widen, clearly not the reaction he was expecting. Damn. He folds his arms. I shake my head as my laughter slows, wiping a single tear from my eye. No. My laughter slows down enough that I can elaborate through my bursts of chuckling. It's been ages since I heard that one. I had a friend that would pull that same kind of stuff. The guy was a dingo about your height. Always made me laugh. He smiles at me. Well, if you like that, there's plenty more to come. His devilish grin spreads further across his face. I like a challenge. The last few chuckles escape my belly, and I do my best to fix my hair with my hand. I fold my arms and nod my head, a smile remaining on my face throughout. I think you and I will get along just fine. Don't let your guard down, detective. Remember your goals and stay focused on the case. Oh!
Because he's a detective? He doesn't act like that. I mean, was he pretending to hook up with this guy to find information about his murder or something in Harbor Town, I think, or Harborton, or what it was called? Kind of weird and awkward, but Keep going.
Oh, so he's the detective. Okay. Honestly, I thought what was going to happen is that we were going to see him get murdered, and that the game would take place from the point of view of the detective. Okay. Remember your goals and stay focused on the case. So, tell me, how'd you end up on X? I shrugged my shoulders. I saw some guys on a true crime forum I followed talking about like real crimes that happened on 4chan. So of course, what do but go check it out for myself. Ooh, excuse me. I saw the option, so I created an account.
Good. You know, I've noticed a lot. To stretch myself. 4chan chat, yeah, it's really weird. Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. 4chan thing, but uh, but they always mention true crime. Like, has true crime like turned everyone into like a wannabe detective or something? That's what I've noticed. Everyone wants to be like some wannabe detective on true crimes. And I looked up, you know, it would take 13 hours driving from Kansas City to like New Orleans because they mentioned a bunch of cornfields. I'm guessing he lives like Midwest, and they say this place is really salty. That's like by the sea, so I'm like, okay, I'm guessing like New Orleans or Florida, you know, kind of like, you know, the beaches of Galveston or some shit. I don't think he's gonna end up on the West Coast. And maybe up on the North Coast. Maybe if like he went to like, you know, small ass town. I guess I don't know anything about 4chan. I've never touched any of that shit. I've always heard about it, like, you know, in very hushed tones. I've never touched any of that type of stuff because, yeah, I had no interest in
Jumped into the first board I could think of. Requests. I posted as one does. Where can I find some information about cold cases I couldn't find on Google? And probably would have been for the best if I hadn't. I shook my head. Using the same username for every site was a mistake. Some fucker hacked my RuneScape account.
RuneScape.
Cat side-eyes me. Damn. I know kids do stupid things, but he smiles. You were that dumb as a teenager too, huh? I grinned back at him, resting my arms on the top of the car seat. Guess I always have been. Though, give me a break, eh? I had to be the beacon of positivity when things got rough. I chuckled. My little brother had to learn from somebody, you know. Didn't stop him from being an annoying little shit, though. The cat stares back at me. Annoying sibling, hmm? There you go. Water time. He pulls the car into the park, rolling his sunroof back up as he does. You planning on killing him? Is that why you're into criminology? I chuckle, though I feel it comes off as less genuine than I'd like to. Hasn't everyone dreamed of killing someone? The cat doesn't respond, just turning away from me.
Yeah, I think the cat is a Siamese, and I guess he's a fox. I'm guessing. Yeah, that's what I think. He has a very Siamese look, very Siamese cat look. I mean, Siamese cats, so adorable. Look at that. I just, oh, man, Siamese cats are adorable. Such an adorable little. Can't get enough of them. All right, but we're gonna get back to the game.
There's a painfully dead silence that hangs after my joke falls flat. I'm able to stomach the awkwardness for long to change the topic to something I'm a bit more interested in. So, tell me. Oliver Blanche, you said he was a friend of yours. The cat nods his head as he taps his car door closed with his butt. Yep, we went to high school together, like I said on Discord.
He's on Discord too.
Under me, and the only time we ever really interacted was when I was a sophomore. I tilt my head. Really? 10th grade? If he was only one grade behind you, what happened? Did you have a falling out? He shrugs his shoulders, walking over to my side of the car. I was never in with his friend group. Don't get me wrong, kid was cute as hell. Back then I'd bag just about anybody. So of course I made an effort when I saw how close he was with another dude. I raised an eyebrow, folding my arms. But there were issues. Issues like? He presses a discreet little button on his car key, ordering the trunk to open. Ollie's friend group, it was really small. I heave my suitcase out of the trunk, and once it's firmly on the ground, sling my canvas messenger bag over my shoulder. It was weird, didn't talk to people. Miss School a lot. I'm pretty sure V and Don were the only people that bothered talking to him, and even then he was quiet. With my free hand, I bring up my index finger and gently tap on my.
This does not sound very good. And you have like man, I need to really upload more stuff to Patreon. I upload some stuff, but I need to upload some more. Hopefully, sometime today, tomorrow, upload some. So I'll be gone on Sunday. I have to like I have to go to Oklahoma real quickly. My mom drop some stuff off.
Gently tap my skull.
Like my family members, the
Cat
gifts.
interrupts my thinking with an obnoxiously bright smile. I can give you some more deets when we get settled in, eh? I hesitate a second before nodding my head. Kino.
Kino?
I turn my gaze upwards toward the neon sign contrasting the blue sky just beyond it. Denser? The cat lifts his own suitcase out of the trunk before shutting it. This is where I stayed last time I was in Harborton. It's one of the nicer motels by the beach. He smiles, closing his eyes tight. Direct access to the harbor. That's what you wanted, right? My eyes open a little wider as those words pass his lips. Yes, I really want to see it. Let's go ASAP. He interrupts my excitement by wiggling a defiant finger in front of my face. Don't you think we'd better make sure we have a bed to share? I tilt my head. You mean two beds? Cat smiles as a response, before turning away from me and walking up to the motel's reception desk. I follow in turn. An older man, likely in his late 50s, rests in a chair behind a thick-looking pane of clear plastic. He likely didn't see us approach, since he hadn't yet lifted his nose out of the book he was reading, a real page-turner by the intensity with which he scanned the pages. Sam giggles to himself, likely seeing an opportunity to cause some mischief. He turns his head back to me, a soft glint reflecting the early evening sun and illuminating his face. And before I can reflect on his next potential action, he slams his fist on the glass once, followed by a flurry of smaller taps. Help me, there's a murderer out here, I think he may be... He turns around to face me, winking coyly before raising his hands to defend himself. No!
That's not funny.
What a dork!
Yeah.
He's a fucking dork.
What if that old man had a gun, man?
He's satisfied with his prank, but I turn to see the victim and he's unholstered a handgun and pointed it at me.
Did he?
Instinctively, I throw up my hands. Don't shoot! Ha! Look, I'm... As soon as he grasps the sudden peril he's placed me in, the cat scrambles to his feet, drawing the terrified eyes of the man behind the desk. Ah! It was just a prank. Seriously, don't shoot him. The man squints at us for a brief moment before sighing and lowering his gun. Dear Lord, does anyone sane ever visit this town? He shakes his head and returns his gun to the holster on his waist. I keep my mouth shut, unsure of what to say as my adrenaline dies down. You damn kids and your nonsense. He shakes his head again, floppy ears swaying as he does. Y'all got business? If not, get. He raised his hand and I flinched, but to my relief he just points at a no loitering sign just outside his office. You can read, can't you? Well, actually, yeah, I'm gonna do that. You can read, can't you? I couldn't answer him if I tried, as any words I tried to make had caught in my throat. Luckily, Sam seems completely unshaken and chimes in for me. Yep, we went to the room for the weekend. That'd be under Samuel Wong. He leans in a bit closer to the manager's counter. And in an hour or so, he'll be under me. Jesus Christ. This is like some desperate levels of just, oh, it's painful. So painful. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate the support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silvermoon. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond.
And Sam's okay. Okay, yeah, this reminds me of like I get like Silent Hill vibes. Hill vibes. Let's see. What else? What else reminds you of? It reminds you of Harbor. Harbor was Fallout 3 or was that Fallout 4? I think it was Fallout 4. Or Harbor was 4. Fallout 3. also reminds me of what's the other Point Lookout? What's it? Oh, three down. Enter. Hey, Incubes, what's up? Haven't seen your ass in a while. Furry, what else does it remind me of? Obviously, like, what you like, mentioned Cthulhu and all that. I don't know a whole lot about Cthulhu stuff, so. Greetings, what's up? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, buddy? Haven't seen your ass in a long time. Right, just drop by. Well, thank you for dropping by. Hopefully, you're able to, stay for a bit, enjoy yourself, have fun, chatting with others, whether it be me or anyone else in the chat at the place. Yes. Let's see. Let's see. They dropped. Let's see. 410. Anything else to mention? True crimes. Maybe pick up a few. What you picking up?
Oh, that bread looks good, huh? But it's not just bread, it's non-delectable.
Damn, that never gets old. You think people would stop wiping out when I spook them, eh? Blinked my eyes repeatedly. I saw the option, so I created an account. So, tell me, how'd you end up on X? I shrugged my shoulders.
True crimes. Mentioning 4chan, crimes, words. How's it going? Well, I guess. Still struggling trying to find myself a job. That's like the bad part. But I a lot of stuff has happened. I guess my younger brother got married. Um, we got married. I've been doing Twitch streaming, doing reaction channel, got Patreon. Uh, almost done with my online course on chapter 6 out of 8. Almost done with chapter 6, so I'm hoping I can finish a good chunk of chapter week 3 at least. So that means in 1 week I finished 3 weeks. Then this Sunday I'll be gone a day because my mom wants to bring some gifts and stuff like that to her relative, our sisters and my cousins and all that. And yeah, I know next week GTA 6 will have a trailer coming out. I can't wait for that. It has been 10 years since GTA 6. I posted it on Facebook. Big photo of me back in 2013 to a photo of me in 2023, and mentioning all the different things that have happened in those 10 years. Also finished it up today. I finished up Mob Psycho season 2. That was all right. 2 times. Escape. That's anything else.
I saw some guys on a true crime forum I followed talking about like real crimes using the same username for then back at me. The captain's car door closed with another dude. I raised an eyebrow, folding my index finger. You wanted, right? I have to reflect on his next potential act.
RuneScape. Oh, thank you for the shout out, Pierce. Thank you. Like, if you are enjoying content, that's let me know if you're enjoying the content. See if there's any way to. See if there's any way to. I snoozed some of the ads, like another 5 minutes, because unfortunately, like even though I don't put a whole lot of ads on, it's just unfortunately the amount of ads Twitch puts up. It could be like 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row. It's like what, like a minute 30, and at minute 30, you have like 8 ads. You know, I go back to back to back. Really fucking annoying. So, what I have been recommending to everyone that comes in, try to get yourself a gift sub, try to get yourself a sub, or you just use your Twitch Prime sub or something, man. Because like Twitch is like doing a whole lot on the ads and everything. Really annoying. Hence why a lot of people have moved to Kick. A lot of people have moved to YouTube Gaming. Mm-hmm. His full name was Samuel Wong. Samuel Wong. What happened to the video? Fuck. I exited out somehow? Yeah, I must have. God damn it.
On his next
I wasn't finished with it. Damn it, hell, I was typing something up and for some reason I don't know how I did it. I X'd out that video. I'm awkwardly trying to find. Let's see. Once again, I'm getting Kill vibes. All out 3 with paint out and man, I do need to Samuel, you don't spike, right?
potential action. He slams his fist on. That'd be under Samuel Wong.
Okay, let me see what I spelled the name.
Went to the room for the weekend.
Samuel Wong. Let's see, Samuel Wong. Last name is Asian. Oh, well, JC's. I guess JC's name is. But he obviously goes to JC, but maybe his name is Juan Carlos or something something generic, I guess, like that, and that's what he's. Maybe once we figure out, maybe I don't know what his species is. Could be a fox or some type of dog, maybe. With the orange fur on the tail, makes it feel like very much like a. I'm guessing the fox is like down in Mexico. So far, this guy, all his flirting reminds me of Owen, um, repeat. Also reminds me of Kate as well. Let's do all that, very obnoxious flirting. Owen, repeat. Yeah, I think I already mentioned Owen. Owen, Kate, Darius. Who else is there? Like, and there's probably some others who are also just very, horn dog. Let's go. Owen, 8. Curious. I mean, this one could be interesting. Hopefully, we find out more. Anything else? We'll have to look at. Let's see. It was a memoir. It's God, like someone doesn't look very interesting. And I'm not gonna lie, the main guy, he looks like fucking Sissel. Looks like he copied fucking Repeat's art style. Path, base path. On, I'm not. Where did I drop off? I remember I was watching this thing. And I remember they had a crazy nightmare sequence. I remember that having cut off. He met his roommate. That's where I left off. But there's been so many updates for. So where did I stop? I stopped off on 27, 41. So there's been like 10, 14 updates. So behind. And I know I'm way behind on the guy Oscar. Still, yeah, I remember. I think I saw all of original path with. Yeah, you got. I think the one I always found interesting. It was this cat board. Dom and Alex, I think. Nova, I heard that one was interesting. One that's like a superhero one. No, Super Fangs Path. Yeah, that is the one. Superheroes. 194 episodes. Tennessee. Been any updates for Bjorn's Path? Not much. Or can do. Sadly. The Encore. Not Dawn. Psychic Connections. I mean, there's another one. I think Aiden and Jude are the two I think I like the most. Let's see. should
Enjoy the
like going back and seeing everyone's like reaction to this like plot twist and everything Jenna's path and his Jenna's path. It's pretty interesting because obviously you have the Drake Queen Gaming, you have Vivian Jade from a long time ago, and you have recently maybe like the most recent would be Keith doing it. Let's see. Echo. Anyone else? See if anyone else is. Did is Vivian Jade from all those Keith. There's Drake Queen Game. Did Dirk the Red Panda ever do one? Two years ago. And you get that weird thing. Still don't know how like, and like the crazy part is they I know they've updated it. They added like some new stuff, especially they added some extra CGIs and stuff. No, it looks like he didn't do it. I thought he did. Let me look it up. Done smoke rooms. Echo. Guess not. Just Dirk the Panda now. Let's see. How he else he has done Archer. And he's done, he's like one of the first people I know he did Password. I know he liked that a lot. Personally, interests me, but hey. Do you, my friend? He did Archer. Did Inertia. Emia. Paradise. Echo Minus. Yeah. It looks like he never finished half. 5 years ago. 2008. And then in 2020 he's like, alright, here's Jenna's path. Like 4 years later. I wonder if he will ever come back and finish this up. Because I like to see other people's reaction to the game. Echo's one of those games that man, they finished a long time ago, but it keeps giving, and then Tied Archers, the Smoke Room, Route 65. The Echo side stuff. So yeah. All right, let's see. And his video used to be a lot longer. Man. His video used to be like at least over 20 minutes. Now it's like 15. a lot shorter, and obviously you can edit it faster. Which I feel like I like when they were like at least 20 minutes or so, and there were a lot more. Right, getting through them, and then when he gets like the good part, he's like, "Oh, I gotta cut it off." Like, no, don't cut it off. Gets right to the good stuff. Hey, I what he does. I think I mentioned is saying we can go back to 21, but continue.
Video. Man, look at that new intro. Oh, I love it. So good, guys. This is the new update for Echo, version 1.01. And it has a whole lot of new stuff in it. It's even got some side stories that explains more of the lore in the game. And I'm excited to show you all this content. Eventually, I can't show you everything today. It's a lot of stuff. But anyway, guys, let's pick this back up. We're continuing on Jenna's path. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Please sit back for the next 20 minutes and allow me to entertain you, and let's jump right into it. All right, alarm chain, you're up. Let's do it. All right. Ordinarily, the lights of the town would guide us where to go, but everything's dark. The moon, our only real source of light, and even that is partially obscured. The productive thing to do is just think ahead right now. We'll come into town along the back roads, get to the motel, and take your car. I give her an affirmative thumbs up. Misha, meanwhile, is clutching his knife tight.
He says Misha, which is that's not his name. His name's not Misha. Micah. Micah. Someone else? Crazy, am I? No one else. I think no one else said that. I think even Keith. I think he said right, Micah. The video back to. I think him and obviously I think Stephanie did a really good job of like talking about Echo and breaking it all down. And there are a few times that they go on a little too long, crazy tangents. Really dragged that episode. I mean, they could have finished this, much sooner. You go back to the. You go. I'm thinking about how far back I could man. Well, it's
On the back roads, get to the motel, and take your car. I give her an affirmative thumbs up. Misha, meanwhile, is clutching his knife tight. It reminds me of how he was with the wrench earlier, when he was worried about Leo attacking him. Now the two walk nearly side by side. Everyone but Leo is rattled, that's for sure. I can't tell if it's the supposed hysteria's fault or just a completely rational reaction to all the shit that's happened today. Misha's usually arrogant and gruff demeanor is replaced by.
I forgot. Oh my god, I remember fucking Keith and all them like spent a bunch of time analyzing his fucking shirt. He says something. He says something stupid like something dumb. I forgot what it was. 'Cause I think they mentioned a whole bunch of times in obviously Jenner's out because Micah's that important in Jenner's out. Man, I'm so stupid. I can't remember right. Yeah, whatever. Let's.
A more timid posture. The the bat rubbing his neck like he can't believe he's alive. I try to think of something to say as he turns to face me. Misha, I'm sorry about Keith. So someone in the comments wanted me to actually see if I can do a cowboy accent for Misha. I mean, does anyone know if that's what Misha sounds like? If it is, cool, alright? So I'm gonna try and do a cowboy accent for Misha. If you guys prefer the more lighter southern voice I did last time, let me know. Alright, let me see if I can do a cowboy voice. Yeah. That's my cowboy voice. Alright, he responds simply, sucking in his lower lip for a moment between one of his fangs before speaking again. Still not sure exactly what happened, but now I have a more definitive idea. He looks ahead again, shifting the topic. I had a dream about you, you know. Oh? After we spoke, I only got a little bit of sleep, but what I did dream stuck out to me. You were holding me underwater, drowning me. A cold chill creeps along my spine.
Oh man, that reminds me of what Chase did to fucking Flynn in TJ's now. All drownings.
Raising her brow curiously at the bat. Leo stares straight ahead, unfazed. That's weird. Why are you telling me this? Misha waves his hand, dismissing my question as he continues. You were holding me underwater, and it was fucking terrifying because I couldn't breathe. Your hands around my throat felt exactly like that noose did, the way they bristled and cut into my neck. He points to the matted fur around his throat, the pinkish, raw rubbed flesh visible even in the dark. But talking emotionally and shit, I started feeling thankful. Thankful I was killing you? That's rather macabre. The bat nods, seemingly well aware of how strange this sounds. Yet he doesn't relent, noting how exceptionally strange everything else has been lately. I'd be willing to take anything at face value at this point. Like you were freeing me. Real fucked up suicidal shit. When I was up in that noose, though, I didn't want to die, so that part didn't translate. Honestly surprised I didn't piss and shit myself. Did you guys? Jenna stares blankly at him. No. I did not. No. Leo, of course, is silent. I think I almost left town a couple days ago. We've never gotten caught up in this mess. Well, why did you really disappear the first time, back in 2008? Misha fiddles
2008, man. That was a long time ago, man. Fucking 2008. That was 1 year after I graduated from high school. I was in college.
Taking it out and peering it over. I can't quite make out what it is. Something plastic and thick. A lot of reasons. My folks turned on me after finding out about some shit one night. Came home to find my room torn up. All my belongings outside. My mom, the cunt, wouldn't stop fucking bawling, screeched like a dying chicken at me. My dad, meanwhile, had this old police baton. Kept coming at me with it whenever I tried to come inside. Kept screaming and to let me in and apologizing for every little screw-up that I could think of. None of it worked. I tried to sleep on the porch, but Dad came out and started kicking me in the back till I left. Jenna grimaces. That's awful. Leo looks back over his shoulder, slowing his pace some to match ours. I can tell he's at least half listening now, no longer spaced out. Keith was gone, and I didn't have anywhere else to go. Wasn't too popular, as I recall, even with Heather, Clint, and Jeremy. They had their own problems. Should have told me. The words catch Mika by surprise, the wolf staring at him from across the shrubbery. Hey, I know we just survived a near-death experience together, but no need to be getting all retroactively sappy. We turned a small bend around.
They keep on saying that, Chase is like sexual or something like that. I mean, he could be, but I don't know how canon Dennis route is. I think Leo route is canon. Like, could be gay. I mean, he's always been gay. Yeah. He's always, back by, Leo, sucking off.
Around a sandy embankment, some old car parts scattered in the underbrush.
This Christmas Day,
See, we are more than just kings and queens.
you're invited to discover the magic
We are at the center of the universe.
of the color purple.
Don't keep me waiting.
Rated PG-13.
ranch mac and cheese. That sounds delicious. I want some mac and cheese.
Actually, I quite like this new voice I'm doing for Keith. The moon is finally visible from behind Echo Canyon, and I can make out what Misha's carrying. Brian's cell phone. I guess he's gonna try to take that in as evidence. As he moves to push it back into his pocket, it slips and clatters against a rock beneath him. Oh, fuck. I'll get it. Leo bends down, taking hold of the phone. The screen is shattered and a few slivers of glass fall to the ground. Damn it. The bat extends out his hand. Thanks. Leo doesn't budge, still staring at the shattered device. Then, from beyond the desert scrub and scattered car parts, a mechanical roar. Light flashes before us, and Leo holds up his paw to shield himself from the light. It takes me just a moment to realize they're headlights, and the roar is the start of an old engine. It's a van, sitting right in front of us, and it's all too familiar. Oh, fuck me. Oh! That is an awesome CG render. Damn, that looks cool. CG render, not CG.
I think this is the same band from. I don't know if this is. I don't think this is the same band. Band or. But like.
No, that's not CG. That's artwork. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm a dummy. What the? Jenna reels back, eyes wide. That wasn't there a moment ago, she mutters, craning her neck some to peer through the red-tinted window to see who's behind the wheel. After a moment of inspection, it's clear that there's no one inside. Jenna. What? Jenna, this is the van from the dream, the one I told you about. Oh, come on. Jenna doesn't sound incredulous to my claim, just exhausted. She crosses
Maybe it is the
tightly
same
over
band.
her chest, not letting her eyes leave
I'm
sight.
trying to remember all of these.
Okay then, what's it doing here?
Trying to keep them straight in my head.
I don't have an answer for her, and therefore remain silent, stepping away from the front of the vehicle in case it somehow takes off. Misha, meanwhile, looks confused. He peers around, his yellow eyes bright and shimmering in the focus of the headlights. What the fuck? I know where we are. But we were heading into town, toward the motel. How the fuck are we here? We didn't cross the highway, did we? I look to our east, and sure enough, there it is. The weathered asphalt of Route 65. I would have noticed if we crossed pavement. Someone would have. It's the complete opposite direction that we should be heading. Jenna gasps, seemingly realizing this is a little after the rest of us. We've been here before. Leo speaks up, clutching the side of his head with a wince. You recognize it too, right? Leo still sounds half asleep, turning to face us, though it appears he's only speaking to Misha and I. The bat blinks. Oh, fuck. You dreamed about this too, Chase? I swallow and nod, clutching my clammy paws against my shirt. I think so. The dream from earlier today had already begun to fade from my memory, as most dreams do. But the way I felt watching it is still very clear, and this whole scene is starting to give me some serious deja vu, or something like it. There was an albino guy. He had bright red eyes and got ran over. The van's motor continues to idle, humming as it waits.
Okay, so this is.
Mine was a little different. Misha doesn't allow.
Maybe this is the same band that Johnson did run over Sam, and then Joe and Micah had sex in high school. Micah. Chase.
Elaborate. No, we've been here before in real life. Implying that this is not real life? Misha glances over at the wolf, and the two exchange a look for a moment. Jenna steps forward and tugs at the driver's side door. It opens with a quiet creak, some errant cobwebs fraying apart as the door is pulled fully open. That means it's full of fucking spiders, and that means no, I'm not getting in. I'm pretty sure Chase would also be saying that. She squints at something by the wheel, then reaches in and taps it. Keys are in the ignition, and there's this big red glare on the dash. Maybe a check engine light? She frowns to herself. It looks like this thing hasn't been used in a while. Sans whoever turned this on, but I'm no mechanic. If only there were one among us now. Leo? She She pokes her head out, raising an inquisitive brow at the wolf. You're welcome to take a look if you're feeling up to it. She eyes Leo up, examining his physical condition. Her expression is a mixture of skepticism and concern. Leo begins to limp toward the van, and Misha quickly steps up beside him to keep him from tipping over. He grunts appreciatively in response, speaking up. It's probably not a check engine light. What makes you say that? Those didn't really exist back when this was made, before the mid-90s. Are you guys thinking we can drive this out of Echo? I'm a little more concerned with wondering who turned this on in the first place and how we even got here. But that's an optimistic thought, Chase. So
Not
maybe
weird.
this is a gift horse that we're looking squarely in the mouth right now? Doubt it. Misha rasps, helping Leo prop himself against the driver's side door as Jenna steps aside. The light looks like it isn't coming from the dash. Leo clumsily grasps the steering wheel, peering closer. It's like it's being reflected off the odometer, but I don't see a direct source. How Leo can see clearly at all after repeated blows to the head may be the real question here. That's fucking weird. A shuffling noise comes from the back of the van, and everyone freezes. There's a raggedy fabric partition hiding everything past the front seats from view. Gingerly, Leo pulls it aside and squints into a red light illuminating his face. Is anyone back there? Leo doesn't immediately respond, and I can't see him well from where I'm standing. I limp my way up beside Jenna. Leo? She inquires again, more urgent. No, not right now. There's something back there, though. Well, that's obvious enough. I'm too big to squeeze between the seats. I'm gonna go around. Everyone takes a step back out of the now seemingly coherent wolf's way as he exits the van. Oh, God, it's creepy looking. Fucking deja vu something fierce right now. You too? Jenna gives us both a quizzical look as Leo braces the handle of the rusted van door and gives it a yank. At first it doesn't budge, but after another hard tug, the door flies open. One door partially unhinged as it dangles to the side. There's something standing in the middle of the van on 3 spindly legs. The red light projects from something on the top, and it begins to flash on and off. A camera on a tripod? At first, I think it's mine, but upon closer inspection, it looks like an older model. No fucking way! Misha quickly backs away.
That's once I'm done with this video, I'm skip around other videos. Anybody Drake Queen Gaming. But so far, I don't think we've done it too long. No, probably like this. It could be interesting. I think all the other videos are like pretty long, and I would love to. I would like I don't know, maybe because I wish some people had like a separate video at the end once they're done with the route, and going back through it and trying to pick out clues. I know some people do that at the very end of their videos, but like have like a separate video for just to pick their brains. Like, oh hey, you pick this up, I pick this up, and have a talk with in the comments.
Nearly tripping over a prickly pear cactus on his haste. Nope, this isn't real. Everyone pack it up. We're being filmed? What is this, some elaborate prank show? This is 100% not funny. Leo says nothing, climbing into the back of the van and turning the display monitor on the camera around. On it, a little red dot on the corner flashes on and off, in time with illumination of the rest of the cab. The display screen itself shows us standing there at the back of the van, though the image is fuzzy, distorted. I wonder how long this has been here. That's my camera, Misha shouts in surprise, looking briefly to the rest of us before lowering his voice some. Well, the high school's camera, but they were shit at keeping inventory. I ditched it after my folks kicked me out. Okay, but what's it doing here? And why is it recording? Judging by the looks on everyone's faces, I don't think anyone has an answer to that. Leo brings a heavy paw up to his eyes, rubbing them some before peering at Misha, then the screen, then back again. Misha cants his head some at the wolf, letting out a slow exhale. Either this is one fucked up joke, wolf boy, or I'm beginning to think this is the Hum's doing. The Hum. He mentioned that before, by the motel. Well, I haven't heard that word in a while. What's the Hum? It's hard to describe. Bad dreams, like we talked about before. Feels kind of like Vision Quest shit. Real spiritual stuff that Keith talked about a lot. Wasn't good vibes, though. Bad energy only. Thing is, it only really happens when you're sleeping, and I'm wide-ass awake. He extends his arms out to his sides for a moment before gripping the van's door, thumbing at the chipping paint. I haven't thought about that in a while. Jeremy and Adam talked about it when I was younger after I mentioned seeing the thing we just saw half an hour ago, she wants to say, but she still visibly can't quite accept that. Not yet. You know what? I don't, but as I was saying, you can kind of tell when it's happening because it's more than just a nightmare. Your ears start buzzing. Like one of them orchestra bands turning up, violins in your skull, you know? A creeping sensation that I know exactly what he's talking about builds in my gut. You hear it too? What, like right now? Leo stares for a moment before nodding. One of the bat's large ears flicks and he turns his head from side to side. I don't think so. He pauses. Maybe, might be the engine. He shifts attention back to the vehicle, yanking on the van's door some. Spooky ass ghost van engine. The metal frame of the van seems to rattle in response, so that might be just my imagination. Sometimes I'd go out in the hills and just camp out away from home, cause the hum wasn't as bad there. Heather did it a bunch with me too, though she had her other reasons. Jenna nods, exhaling slowly before crossing her arms over her chest. So I suppose then you have a theory about all this? One based in, what, Meseta spiritualism? Honestly, I thought it was like radon poisoning or something. But you get the hum in a few other places around town, too. I've slept all over. The rail yard, the lake, this van, they're all real hummy places. You slept at this van before? Despite everything that's happened, the idea that anyone would want to take a nap in this creepy thing is dubious at best for Jenna. Well, Misha trails off. For one usually so coarse and brazen, his seeming awkwardness right now feels out of place for him. We both have. Briefly. Leo places the flat of his palm on the bed of the cab. Flattened cardboard boxes and ratty bits of fabric that must have been blankets or towels cover the surface. The large canine's brow furrows some, and finally he looks back up at all of us. It may just be me, but he doesn't seem as sluggish anymore. Jenna lets out an exhausted but amused noise, letting her arm flop down to her sides. Truly, I'm not sure I see the appeal. Leo and Misha look at each other. There's a silence. Wait. Hold on, you're not saying... I was so stupid. We were both stupid. Misha squeezes the bridge of his nose, closing his eyes as if cringing at himself. I was such a skeevy little bitch back then, I don't know why I pushed... No, I don't mean it for that, Misha. I mean for what happened after. You had it rough and I didn't care, or if I did, I didn't want to, because of what happened at the party. I feel like an outsider looking in at some intimate conversation I don't understand, which is a feeling I can't say I've felt when I'm around Leo. He'd always go out of his way to include me in everything. What party? What are you guys talking about? Chase, they... 2008, that Dia de los Muertos party at the Parsons warehouse. The one where you told me you were gay, the night we got together. I blink. My parents had caught me watching gay porn that morning on the computer, and I was afraid to come home to them, so I went to some party at Parsons. The night itself is kind of a blur. I remember getting in a very brief fight with a guy who dumped beer on TJ, then waking up with Leo over me, eyes full of concern. Somehow I ended up confiding everything to him about me being into guys. He apparently had a hunch about it, and the next thing I knew, he was ushering me out of the old warehouse and walk home with him. We kissed in the rail yard by his house, and that was about the start of our relationship proper. Still, something always seemed a bit off about that party and the way Leo was acting. I think I remember some dude trying to come up to talk to him, and Leo telling him off before insisting that I not ask about it. He seemed really serious at the time. Didn't want to ruin a good thing or something like that. I didn't get a good look at the guy he talked to, but he was carrying a camera? The wolf taps the side of the tripod with his fingertips. Leo, you are reprehensible! Jenna's voice is cold and curt. Jenna? What? Shut up. Jenna looks taken aback, but only for a split second before shaking her head in disbelief. Leo winces, clutching his wounded head, his reddish eyes flicking up to meet mine. I shouldn't have agreed to it. I was just... Jenna quickly interjects, stepping in front of me. No, Leo, this whole week has just proven to me time and time again that you're just... She stares, letting out a hot puff of air between
To this day, I still don't get this. So many people that like Leo stands, like, trying to defend Leo and all this terrible shit he's done. back, Route 65 and the side stories, main Echo game, all the routes, post Echo, and all this shit. Like Chase, I can understand. It's a little. He's all fucked up. He's all possessed, by Sam and shit.
Spreading her arms wide. Just perfect for Echo. You truly, truly belong here. You know that? God, how old were you then? How old was Misha? Did you even care? Fucking hell, you about done? The bat pivots on his heel away from the van to face Jenna, his eyebrows narrowed beneath his bangs. Look, you don't know me. I ain't some fucking victim. Shit was my choice. What? What was your choice? Chase, you're an absolute idiot sometimes. Jenna sounds very disgusted. I frown at her, wondering what the fuck I did wrong. And I abandoned you. Jenna visibly seethes. None of this, she points at the rusty van, that same red light flashing on and off, makes any sense. But all your actions completely do. You're just also perfect for this town, thinking any of that was okay. She throws up her hands, legs shaking with frustration. Is she including me in this? It isn't. I'm done. I'm gone. Done. Jenna! She turns to leave, though a crackling from the front of the van brings her to a halt. Hey. From the console, the distorted voice I've become all too familiar with rings forth again. It's coming from the old radio, the audio crackling through dusty speakers. Jenna recognizes it instantly and begins stepping back away from the van again. We should go. Now. Her voice is shaky. The air itself seems fuzzy. Electric. Like I'm breathing in hundreds of...
I gotta lie, this thing here was so good, especially. There's not a whole lot of scenes in the game, obviously. Very visual novel. I guess a shoestring budget if you want to use. This thing was.
Tiny strands of vibrating twine. That sounds like Chase. Hi. Leo was the only one to outright respond back, and Misha looks at him with a bewildered expression. Don't talk to the hum. It's Chase. Chase is right there, dipshit. He gestures to me, still sitting gobstopped at the back of the van. Leo slowly looks back at me, squinting at my chin, then my eyes. It's me. Let's go home. He sees that it isn't my mouth moving, and his eyes widen a little more. A small line of blood runs down from a spot just behind his ear down to his jaw. I promise I won't bring it up again. Let's go home. Who gives a fuck what the others say? You know I'm right. I remember saying those exact words. After Flynn
Those exact words after Placidus
blasted us for skipping Jenna's birthday party in 10th grade. I convinced Leo to hang out with me instead. I was addicted to the private time with him. I promise I won't bring it up again. We're all silent, staring at the dark cab where the noise is coming from. Except for Leo. He's looking directly at me. Leave. Why? He asks me. I'm not sure what to say. It's not me speaking, but those are my words. Everything feels hazy. Hazy and wet. Misha leans his head into the van, trying to get the wolf's attention. Leo, Keith always said not to talk to the hum. That's what this shit is, no doubt. Hysteria, it has a voice? Apparently, it's your fucking voice, Chase. No wonder everyone's so damn riled up about you coming back. But why me? Do I look like some kind of Masetta Wiseman? Misha grunts, fidgeting from foot to foot. Despite his demeanor, he's definitely visibly unnerved by all this. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it.
That's skills I want. Maybe there's something else that might be interesting. About 2 hours. You're doing a little bit of commentary, some more than others. Tunes around. See anything else?
You have to check out Kohl's this holiday season. From home decor to stylish clothes, Kohl's has something for everyone on your list.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Oh, one moment. And enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, and so you on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Tennis Ace, Keisuke's Path. So y'all, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now up for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming not safe for work videos. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. Yeah, that's a fair point. I can't pretend to know what's going on with you and your family, but I have some idea of how those relationships can be a pain to manage at times. You do? Mm-hmm. I just try to not focus on it.
And I'm trying to, well, of the three main paths in like Fantasy, I still think Keisuke's Path is best. Suichi Path, I don't really like all that much. Dune would be better, but unfortunately, man, they love to do like so much fucking drama with Dune's health, and his mental state, and Suichi's knee, and then you also have Luigi's mental state. I think it becomes a little too much. It's like way too much. I like this one.
Too much. I keep busy and do
Not
my
less
work,
depressing.
and that's usually enough to keep me from getting in any trouble.
And unlike the other route, this one actually has tennis in there. A really important thing. The thing that the main character wants to have is tennis. He wants that to be life, career, goals, and all that.
Usually, huh? Keisuke mumbles to himself, a complicated look flashing across his face that I can't seem to decipher. For what it's worth, I hope things settle down for you. Thank you, Arata. Part of me wants to chime into the conversation.
I still hate this album. It's like the worst, casual album. Could have done something so much better. He's a rich dude. He could buy things.
But I don't trust my ability to talk about it without revealing something that I shouldn't. So I settle on using my food as an excuse to stay silent. I know Keisuke values his privacy quite a bit, so I'd rather not do anything to mess with it. By the time we all finish eating, it hits me that we've been out of the house for almost 10 hours. The sun had already set by the time we got to the shopping district, but now the moon is really fully out. I really wasn't expecting to be out for this long when Keisuke first said he wanted to practice a little bit. Or, wait, did he actually even say that? I'm struggling to remember his exact words. I really have to start paying a little more attention to what people say around me. A few hours later, we eventually left the shopping district and took the train back to our station, walking half the way together before wishing Shuichi goodnight and splitting up. By the time we finally get home, my body feels as heavy as lead. The very idea of getting up tomorrow morning is horrifying to me, but I still managed to check if mom is home, put our clothes through a wash and dry cycle, and trudge.
Yeah, well, you had to blame fucking Keisuke. Like so many matches. It's only a couple of days left until the tournament. Playing that many matches must really tire yourself out.
My way upstairs to my room. As soon as the door closes behind me, I waste no time in chucking away my clothes and falling face first onto the soft, comfy bed. Heaven. I lift my head from the mattress, my eyes immediately shifting to my chair where I'd grown used to seeing Keisuke sitting randomly throughout the day. What's so funny? Everything. You threw yourself onto the bed and then groaned heaven like some kind of bed-starved zombie. Is that even a thing? Not sure, but it was the only descriptor I could think of. Aren't you tired? I thought for sure you'd be in bed by now. Of course I am. That doesn't give me a free pass to neglect my homework. Homework. My voice comes out with a tad more disgust than I intended on using. But by then it's too late to take it back anyway. Keisuke eyes me silently for what feels like an eternity, probably waiting for me to do or say something. And I already know what it is that he's thinking. As soon as he said that stupid curse word, it planted itself into my mind, and now I can't pretend I don't remember it. Fine, I'll do mine before I go.
And we can all agree that Luigi and Keisuke best relationship. This Haruki, I still don't like him. I don't care about him. I try to play his route. Mm,
Go to bed too. I knew you would. You don't know me that well. Don't go getting all smug just because you've been anticipating me somewhat accurately the past few days. Second, y'all. Water time. Alright, y'all, and we are back. Alright, let's jump right into it. I got plenty to drink now. I would never. Despite his denial, I could see the hint of a smile showing itself on the edges of Keisuke's mouth. Deciding to ignore it, I grab a second chair, grab my school bag, and quickly get to work on finishing my homework. I'm not going for diligence here, in and out. I want to go to bed. Although it is really hard to not say anything in the middle of this awkward.
I'm trying to do homework after being out for 10 hours. And it's like I'm guessing past 8 o'clock. I'm guessing man, it's fucking hard to do any fucking ever goddamn in high school, let alone college or anything.
Awkward silence punctuated only by the sound of pencil writing on paper. You don't have to leave if you don't want to, just throwing that out there. I know. I really feel like I should, though. I've been here long enough. So long as you know you don't have to, that's fine. I just don't want you to leave because you feel awkward or anything of the sort. It's all right. I appreciate you checking in with me about it. I know I dropped the news on you at a very awkward time. No kidding. Couldn't you have picked your timing a little better? My mind went there on its own. It can't be helped. I'm sure it could be a little bit of effort, but I don't want to make Keisuke feel bad about it, so I'll bite my tongue for the moment. And just to make sure everything is, okay between us, right? What a strange question. Why wouldn't it be? Like I said, I'm just making sure. Yes, things are fine between us. You worry too much. Your bodyguard seems to want to bash my face in. I wasn't exactly great to you last week, and your family's being a huge pain. Can you understand why a guy might get a tad paranoid? I suppose so. I'll give you a pass this time. That's so. Well, aren't you kind? We fall back.
Yeah, that's kind of true. A week ago, HK had his 18th birthday. He lost all his money. His family restricting him. Alex offended his bodyguard. Yuichi punched Keisuke in the face, gave him a bruise. Fucking Alex ripped fucking Yuichi's shoulders pretty hard, and he punctured him with his claws, bled a little bit, and now he's here for over a week. If I'm not mistaken, he also messed up the laundry. He was the second time he cooked. Guess he didn't mess up the food.
Back into silence, continuing to work on our homework without a pause. I can't tell whether we're both super diligent for having a whole conversation without taking our eyes off of our notebooks, or if we're just feeling too awkward to look each other in the eye while talking about it. For sure, thinking about the circumstances behind that conversation earlier today is challenging. I really don't want to get a boner right now, so I better stop remembering. Oh, and just so you know, Yuichi. My ear twitches at the sound of my name being called. Yeah? I love you. Ah! A feeling of electricity runs through my body,
I
making
love
every
you.
last strand of fur on my body stand at attention. And yet, despite my body tensing up so suddenly, I say the first words that come to my mind before I realize it. Love you too.
I'll put some
he got wow. Hmm. Keisuke got those words, but still, show doesn't get them. Interesting. God, what did I just say? Crap, 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 crap. My heart is beating so fast it feels like it's gonna burst. Once the weight of what I said fully catches up to me, I completely lose it. I can't deal with this anymore, not today. I grab my notebook and lean forward on my desk, hiding my now completely red face under it. Even without seeing him, I can hear the hair chuckling under his breath. Stupid, sneaky, long ears. It caught me off guard on purpose so I'd respond on reflex. After it feels like an eternity of me whimpering while trying and failing to regain my composure, I finally decide to fully check out, leaving my half-finished homework atop the desk and climbing into the bed, hiding myself under the covers. In that position and filled with embarrassment, I eventually conk out for the night.
You know what, I'm surprised. Really surprised his mom nor his brother have like walked in on them together, sleeping in the bed, just in their underwear, but still. You know, I obviously fucking Aki already knows, and everyone already knows in fucking Yuji's path, and I think he admitted on accident in June's path. You know,
How can you trust the reviews you're reading? Introducing FakeSpot by Mozilla.
June 28th, Wednesday, the day of the apocalypse. No. Second now is quarter time. Okay. As I'm standing over my bed, checking and rechecking every pocket of my travel bag, and continue muttering to myself as I mark off items in a mental checklist while I go along. And that's underwear.
this is gonna be me. Me today. 2 hours when I pack some stuff for a trip, like a quick day trip. You know, here, home and back. I mean, be able to get through like airport security easy. You say pretty, man.
Okay, towels are okay. Shirts. How many shirts? 1, 2, 3, 6 shirts. Is that enough? Yeah, I guess that's enough. When I was a kid, I tended to leave packing to the last minute. After all, packing is annoying. Packing is boring. Who likes packing? But because of that, there was definitely more than one time when I forgot something important. And yeah, sure, it's not too bad when you're just in town, just when you're in town just an hour away, or when your coach can help you get more of whatever it is you forgot. No sweat. You mean? But when you're on the other side of the country and realize you forgot to pack, underwear or pants or shampoo.
How's that possible?
What kind of some sane adult wants to go out at 9 p.m. while staying in a hotel in the middle of an unfamiliar city because the 12-year-old they're chaperoning forgot to bring shampoo? So to avoid that, I packed the morning of my trip, and I check and recheck everything at least a handful of times, if not more. Obsessive? Maybe a little. Secure? 100%.
No, it's not.
You know, you wouldn't need to drive yourself crazy over your bag if you hadn't ignored packing until so late. And while I'm going through said obsessive packing, Keisuke is sitting at the other end of the bed, watching me with a smile like this is the funniest thing he's ever seen. Stupid cocky hair, this stupid cocky smile. You call it late, I call it early. I used to be much worse. I'd start packing half an hour before I was supposed to be in the bus. That was being late.
Oh, that's so bad, man. That's
just because you used to be worse doesn't mean that you're good now. I really don't want to hear this from the guy that had someone else pack and deliver his things. Well, what other choice did I have? If I went back to the state before the trip, I'm fairly certain I wouldn't have been allowed to come back here. And I did say I'd only be going back after the trip. I think there was a lot of room between don't go back.
And man, we haven't had any like estate drama in a while in Keisuke's path. And I want to see the new drama. Is there any new drama comes to Keisuke's path, especially with his family? What's gonna happen next? I remember that bombshell. Okay, he got summoned on his birthday. All his plans got blown up right
back home at all and never leave home. But then again, you're the only one who understands your family's unique brand of insanity, so who am I to talk? Also, you have way too much stuff. Did you really need 3 bags for this trip, besides your tennis gear? It's what I always pack with me. Makes it 100% sure that I won't miss or forget anything. Man, my back hurts jerks just looking at all that stuff. I don't even want to imagine being the one lugging all of it around. Just so long as you don't ask me to carry it for you, I won't. Don't worry that pretty little head of yours so much.
Maybe you could ask one. Maybe you can ask. It would make sense if you had some of his bodyguards. That'll make sense.
It's not used to being complimented like this. You don't talk about my head. Heh, you're cute and very easy to flutter. You're very easy to fluster, it seems. I'll throw a pillow at you, I swear to God. Heaven forfend. Not a pillow. It's my only
I
weakness.
hope heaven forbid.
Second, y'all. Alright, that one's down. Alright. Let's do it. Okay. You're such a dick sometimes. And aren't you the lucky one? You're the only person that gets to see me be this much of a dick. What a prize. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's everything I need. I have shirts, pants, shorts, underwear, fur care, products, towels. I should be good to go. You said that 5 minutes ago. Don't you have something better to do than to watch me pack while criticizing? I could leave, but wouldn't you miss me then? Not from this far away. What did... Ow, you actually threw a pillow at me. You did say it was your only weakness. Oh, aren't you hilarious? You know it. And you have the gall to say that I'm a dick. Between the two of us, you're definitely the bigger one. I'm not too sure about that. Yours definitely seemed bigger, but then again, it's been a little while. What? Oh my God, I'm not talking about that. Yes, I'm aware. Once again, you're too easy. And once again, shut up. Stop throwing pillows at me. And stop being a wise ass. Aw, but don't you love me when I'm a wise ass? Gah! I let it slip once 2 days ago, and
What he should have said, in response would have said, "Don't you love to see my ass? You love to see my." What he should have said, just like.
has not let it go. Every time I think I'm regaining my footing, he pulls that card out and teases me about it. It's hard to keep my cool and dish back when he can disarm me so easily. Shut up. Duly noted. I'll stop for now. If only because you seem like your head is about to explode.
And I definitely need to finish up more of Nick's route.
Just not say these things, right?
I definitely need to go back and finish up Nick's route. Like probably maybe after this stream, or maybe I can put a good hour or so into it and see if I can finish Nick's route. And hopefully, when I wake up tomorrow, I definitely need to sit down and start uploading as much shit as I can, fucking Patreon and YouTube, TikTok, and something.
You don't have to poke the wood and keep teasing me. I've never been the best at not leaving well enough alone. Evidently. Aniki, are you taking your regular everyday toothbrush with you on the trip? Because I was in the laundry room and found your leather pouch with your travel toothbrush and some other bathroom stuff in it. Oh, crap, I completely forgot. Thanks, Aki, give me a second. So much for being good to go, huh? You, shush. Hey, Aki, thanks for the heads up. No prob, Aki cocks his head to the side, looking past me and at my bed. A lot less messy than last time. Good job. Good job. What are you, my boss? I'm just saying you're doing good. That doesn't help your point at all. By the way, will you be going to watch the competition, Akiyushi-kun? Yeah, our coach was talking about organizing a bus for us to go. And since we have a few players from my club competing as well. Oh, I didn't know that. So your club has players in the same age bracket as us. It's a private club, so they have players of all ages. Elementary school, high school, adults, elderly. Anyone who wants to join is allowed in, basically. So, water time. Oh, yeah, this is good. So long as they can pay, you mean? Well, yeah, of course. What about you, Keisuke-san? Aniki never says much about it, but how do you feel? Are you nervous? A little bit. Unlike Yuichi, my prospects are nowhere near as rosy. I'm trying to be optimistic, but you'll do fine. You've improved so much since the prefectural competition that I barely even recognize you as the same player. Thanks, Yuichi. It'll be nice to get to watch you to play again. It's been a while.
It hasn't been that long.
Has. And what about your clubmates? Anyone good that I
It
should
may
look
have been
out
a couple of
for?
days.
I guess. I think 2 of our guys are seated. Oh, that's news to me. Seated players, huh? What are their names and their ranks? What can you tell me about their playstyles? When did this turn into an interrogation? K-Escape, relax. You're going to freak my brother out. Oh, sorry. I can get somewhat intense when it comes to tennis. It's alright. I don't know much about their playstyle since I don't usually bother watching the high schoolers play. If I'm there, I'd much rather play myself, you know? But I do know that they're ranked 13 and 16, I think. That's about right anyway. 13 and 16. I see. If that's the case, then they'd be in a completely different bracket from you and I. The only way you'd ever play against them is if you met in the finals. And there goes getting lost in thought. Doesn't happen all that often, but when it does, it's harder to snap him out of it than it is June when he spaces out. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it.
Comments now. Let's see. Anything else I want to get? Unless I want to see this thing. Like this seems to be. History of the
Interested in
AK.
becoming an aviation maintenance technician? MIAT College of Technology.
The AK-74 is a much underappreciated and overlooked rifle, even though today it is perhaps the most important gun in the world. Rarely talked about or even known outside of hardcore gun circles, if you mention it in conversation, the average person is probably going to correct you and say, wait, don't you mean AK-47? But no, the 74 is a completely different rifle, the younger brother to the 47. The fact that the numbers are inversed is just pure coincidence. So let's get to know this piece of machinery a little bit better, and find out why it's always center stage in every news story nowadays. But to know the story of the younger, first we must tell the story of the elder. During World War II, militaries around the world found themselves with the same problem. They had too many different guns, doing too many things, using too many different types of ammunition. The average infantry squad for just about every country in the conflict looked something like this. 10 or 12 guys, a machine gunner, an assistant machine gunner who carried extra ammo and parts, a squad leader and an assistant squad leader, both armed with submachine guns, and the remaining 6 or 8 men were riflemen. The MG did most of the heavy lifting. The other elements were mostly just support. The submachine gunners would pick off targets who got too close, and the riflemen would pick off individual targets further out. Everyone basically just protected the machine gun. Everything revolved around it. This squad formation did work, quite well in fact, but here's the problem with it. I'll use the German military to illustrate. The machine gunner would be using an MG42 firing 8mm Mauser. The submachine gunners would be using MP40s firing 9mm Luger. And the riflemen would be shooting Kar 98s, firing 8mm Mauser. The rifleman and the machine gunner used the same type of ammo, but the Kar 98s fed their ammo through a 5-round stripper clip, and the MG42 used a belt-fed ammo system. There was no way to feed one into the other, so for all practical purposes, they might as well be using 2 different types of ammo. And this is just to arm 10 guys. Extrapolate this out across an entire military, many of whom are doing different things with even more types of guns, and you run into a logistical nightmare. Getting the right guns and ammo to the right people becomes a painstaking process in and of itself.
Yeah, that's kind of true back then. Obviously, things are more standardized now. You know, most people have standardized. You know, 9mm, 5.56, 5.4, 5.54 by 39. Used to be 7.39 by 7.62 by 39 and 7.6 by 51 NATO.
But what if you had one gun that could do all 3 of those things that we listed earlier? Or even just 2 of the 3 things would drastically simplify supply lines. In 1943, the Germans think they have an answer. The Sturmgewehr, or assault rifle, was a gigantic leap forward in weapons development. It fired a new 8mm Mauser Kurz, or shortened round. It was essentially the regular 8mm Mauser round with the case cut in half. But during testing, engineers found that it could still reliably hit targets 400 meters out, which, as luck would have it, was the average engagement distance at the time. It could fire in semi-automatic with each press of the trigger, or in fully automatic with just a flip of a switch. Since it used less gunpowder, it recoiled less, and could be fired full auto easily like the MP40 submachine gun, but could still hit targets at a distance like the Kar 98. It's also made with stamped sheet metal, so it can be made quickly and cheaply. It was perfect. But by 1943, the Germans are losing the war pretty badly on the Eastern Front, and by 1944, it's all over but the crying. They literally do not have the raw materials necessary to pump these things out in numbers they need, and even if they did, it probably wouldn't have turned the tide of the war. However, the men who had this issue to them loved it. Even Germany's enemies, the Americans and the Soviets, revered the Sturmgewehr, and anytime they could scoop one off a slain German, they did and put them to work. The Soviets liked the idea so much that they copied the idea of a shorter intermediate cartridge and rolled out the 7.62mm by 39mm, and pushed it into service with their new semi-automatic rifle, which was a rival to the American M1 Garand, the SKS. But the Soviets want to up the game. The SKS can fire 10 rounds before having to reload. They want a select-fire gun in the same vein as a Sturmgewehr that can fire 30 rounds from a detachable box magazine, and they want a lot of them. Enter one Mikhail Kalashnikov.
That is Mr. Kalashnikov. Man. And like the AK is such an awesome platform. Like, I really wish I could like my hands on a bunch of have a real collection of AKs and A-74, type guns.
Mikhail was a tanker in the Red Army, but he gets injured so badly that he'll have to sit out for the rest of the war. He was a machinist by trade, and while he's laid up in hospital, he doodles some designs for a new submachine gun for the Army. An officer sees this and gives him the drop on an oncoming set of trials for a new assault rifle the Soviet Union wants to adopt. Mikhail works his way into the trials, but there's one small hang-up. He sucks at drawing, and he needs someone to draft the blueprints of his designs for him. He gets paired up with a woman named Ekaterina Moiseyeva, who is a very talented engineer and can make all the blueprints that are necessary. The two hit it off, and later they get married, and even have a son named Victor, who will go on to be a prominent small arms designer himself. A real chip off the old block. But right now, Mikhail and his ragtag team of machinists who are working after hours from their day jobs get something cobbled together after a lot of failed attempts, and unveil their rifle for the trials. The Automatov Kalashnikov, Type 1. They're going up against the big dogs, though. Every prominent Soviet gun designer is here. And as the trials conclude, to everyone's shock, the Kalashnikov wins out. It was just stunningly reliable. You can drop it in 10 feet of water, douse it in sand, throw it in the mud, freeze it, run it through the scorching desert, throw it out of a helicopter, run over it with a truck. The thing will just not stop working. A soldier with very little training can disassemble it and reassemble it in less than a minute, and it needs next to no upkeep, and it'll still shoot straight. In 1947, the Soviet Union adopts the rifle known as the Automatov Kalashnikov model of 1947, the AK-47. In the 50s, it is reworked to be made out of stamped sheet metal instead of one piece of milled steel. The metal is as thin as 1 millimeter in some places, but its resiliency isn't affected at all. Now the AK has another notable quality. It's cheap. The Soviet factories pump out thousands of these things in a day. China copies the designs with their Type 56 model, and the two combined flood the world with cheap, effective firepower. From the warring nations of Africa to the Mongolian steppe, all the way into Southeast Asia, the Kalashnikov finds itself in the hands of both friend and foe alike. It is so ubiquitous that when Mozambique wins their revolution, they adorn their new flag with the rifle. But it was its exploits and run-ins in Southeast Asia that will birth its descendant. In the 1960s, North Vietnamese and Viet Cong soldiers fighting the Americans in the Vietnam War report back that the Americans are using a new space-age rifle made of plastic and all black, and it even fires a newer, smaller round. In the wake of World War II, the nations of Europe, America, and Canada formed the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. They all pledged to adopt the same rifle that fired the same ammunition and used the same magazines. They adopted the Fabrique Nationale Fusil Automatique Léger, the FN-FAL. But America insisted that it be chambered in a heavy 30 caliber round, so they adopted the large 7.62mm by 51mm. And while the FAL performed admirably, the US adopted the homegrown M14, a heavy and frankly out-of-date rifle that
Yeah, the M14 is really, really bad. I mean, they tested the M14 versus the FAL. They went with it. Oh, it's just an M1 Garand with a box magazine. Real easy, very easy to make or manufacture.
didn't even see use for a decade before America adopted the M16. This new rifle was completely different. How it operated, how it was used, its ergonomics, everything. But the round it used is what caught the Soviet Union's eye. The new 5.56 by 45mm, essentially a .223 caliber round. Why had the Americans, who had absolutely insisted on using a full-size battle rifle cartridge, suddenly changed their minds and went to a smaller intermediate round? They had to have had a good reason. They tell their Vietnamese allies to grab some M16s with the ammo and send them back to the USSR. What they find is morbidly interesting. The round doesn't kill immediately like a .30 caliber, but instead rips its way through the body, causing massive injuries. The round tumbles upon contact, whereas a larger round would just punch straight through. The Soviets then realized the American rationale. On the battlefield, it's probably better to wound a man than to kill him. He can't fight, but now another man has to treat him and drag him to safety. You have essentially taken 2 men out of the fight with 1 bullet. Not just that, but the wounded man needs a doctor, nurses, and orderlies to tend to him. He'll need lots of food and water and medical supplies to recover too. If the soldier had just died, he would just be put in a pine box and sent home. But since he's injured, he'll be taken care of for weeks, months, maybe a year. On a macro scale, this round could be absolutely devastating in a larger conflict. It basically causes his country to spend tens of thousands of dollars on him. The Soviets immediately get to work on developing a response. After some new ideas are thrown out there, they decide to use what worked, the AK system. They'll simply retool it to use the new caliber. Mikhail objects at first and stands by the 7.62, but goes to work on the project anyway to oversee it. In 1974, they like what they have and approve the AK-74 for mass production. Not too much is different. The magazine is now made of polymer and has a straightened out curve to deal with the newer round. The gas block is now placed at 90 degrees instead of 45 degrees, but the most obvious difference is the compensator on the muzzle. It directs blast from the round to the sides and up to keep the rifle on target. And having fired one myself, I can tell you that the recoil feels like a baby kicking against your shoulder. The rifle doesn't jump, it just stays flat and on target. They develop other variants too. The RPK-74 has a heavier, longer barrel with a bipod and is meant to be used as a light machine gun. The AKS-74 has a side-folding stock and is ideal for paratroopers or soldiers who find themselves in cramped Soviet vehicles. And perhaps most famously, the AKS-74U or Krinkov, a shortened rifle that still uses the same ammo and mags, but comes in a convenient tiny package for tank crews and rear echelon troops. And there it is. The initial problem we talked about all the way back at the beginning of this vid has been solved. A gun that performs all 3 roles, machine gun, submachine gun, and rifle, all in one. And uses the same type of ammo and the same magazines. Perfect. But the new round the 74 fires is arguably an improvement over the NATO 5.56. Their round, the 5.45mm by 39mm, has a longer, more aggressively pointed bullet, and is less affected by wind and gravity. But a variant of it, the 7N6, is perhaps the most notable. With a hollowed out point, the front end...
I did not know that. I know they used a different round, but I did not know it was that much more skinnier. It's go back and look at that. Like, this looks like a normal round. This one looks much to that point. It almost looks like doesn't look the same.
And gravity, but a variant of it, the 7N6, is perhaps the most notable. With a hollowed out point, the front end will crumble upon impact, thus have greater reliability when it comes to tumbling through a target, and thus doing more damage. Its steel core could also defeat pretty much all body armor of its day. It was an outstanding round, and wouldn't have to wait long to be tested in the fires of combat.
Ready to talk periods? What did you think about tampons when you first got your period?
Girl,
I don't care about
like, you want me to put
In 1979, the Soviet Union had overthrown the leader of Afghanistan in a coup and installed their own strongman as leader. But when locals turned against him and Pakistan got involved, the USSR announced a full-blown military occupation would be undertaken. Kabul, the capital, was landlocked and only a few mountain passes kept supplies coming in. Their adversaries, the Mujahideen, had occupied the tribal areas, and all they had to do was take up positions overlooking the passes to stifle Soviet involvement. What ensued was nearly 10 years of Soviet troops moving from one mountaintop to another playing whack-a-mole. Wherever one Afghan position failed, 2 more would take their place, and the fighters would just disappear into the poorly mapped tribal regions and blend in with the locals who supported them. The extremely high altitudes meant that helicopters had a lot of problems, and the rough roads meant that the new T-72 tanks couldn't pass, so they had to use older T-62 tanks. In battle, though, the Afghans spoke of the horrors of the Soviet weapons. The 7N6 was dubbed the poison bullet, as it would not kill someone immediately, but let them slowly die of their wounds over the course of hours, or sometimes even days. Though that sounds nefarious, just remember us Americans invented it first. And we even have a version of the 7N6 ourselves, the M85 Green Tip, a round with a steel core just like the 7N6. Although Soviet troops fought admirably, Afghanistan is where empires go to die. It is practically unconquerable. All told, some 26,000 troops lost their lives between 1979 and 1989, and the Soviets withdrew, having gained absolutely nothing. Not too long after, the Soviet Union itself would collapse on Christmas Eve 1991. With the stroke of a pen, over a dozen new nations were created stretching from Mongolia to Berlin. The West cheered, the East braced itself for what was to come. In the ensuing power vacuum the USSR left in its wake, dozens of conflicts erupted all over Eastern Europe and Central Asia. The Tajikistan Civil War, the South Ossetia War, the Chechen Wars, the Georgian Civil War, the 1993 Russian constitutional crisis, the Siege of Sarajevo, the Bosnian Genocide, the Kosovo War, all that, and I have only just begun to show you the tip of the iceberg. Eastern Europe descended into a black cauldron of violence from which it still has not recovered. And all throughout, the familiar crack of the AK-74 could be heard from the steppes of Ukraine all the way out to the mountains of the Caucasus. In the 90s, Mikhail was called up one last time to modernize his rifle for the coming new millennium, the AK-100 program. Russia was still producing AK-47s for foreign buyers, as well as AK-74s, all of the variants, and AKs in other calibers. But those rifles, despite looking similar, had almost no interchangeable parts. They required completely different assembly lines. So Mikhail and his team developed a new series of rifles based on the AK-74M, or modernized version. Now you can make about 9 different variants with only about 3 or 4 non-compatible parts. Really, the only things that needed to be changed were the bolt carrier, and barrel. Everything else was interchangeable. The AK-74 was modernized again in 2012, with standardized rails for mounting optics and accessories, as well as a collapsible stock. Dubbed the AK-12, Mikhail didn't work on the project, but he did live to see it before his death in 2013. However, the rifle proved to be fairly expensive, and was reworked when it was finally distributed to the front lines. And reports from the front in Ukraine in 2022 have been mixed to say the least, with lots of fit and finish issues, as well as optics that won't hold zero. The handguards and rails tend to drift over time, thus you have to constantly recalibrate your sights. These problems mean that most soldiers on both sides still use the venerable AK-74. The AK-74 series of rifles were not the most important guns of the 20th century, but they may very well be the most important guns of the 21st. You see them on the nightly news constantly now, used by friend and foe, east and west. And with instability always hounding that part of the world, you will likely see them for a long, long time to come. It's the best of both worlds. The hard-hitting, no-nonsense reliability of Soviet engineering mixed with an innovative round that was scientifically manufactured by the West to do its job extraordinarily well. East meets West made this rifle, and now it fights for East and West. Anyway, I'm Slapshoes. Thanks for watching. Until next time, y'all take it easy.
That's pretty interesting. Very interesting.
The AKS-74
Anything else? I think it's just off. Okay.
The AK-74 is The AK-74.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas.
It's thinking. Miss PUBG. You too. I'm
listen to me.
Woo! What's going on, guys? Yes,
Oh,
I didn't do my spin.
a nice
I didn't do
Naruto
my
shirt.
spin today because I felt like it needed something new. I felt like with everything going on the past few days, I've made a couple videos in case you guys ain't noticed. We needed to have a conversation. It needed to be different. Shout out to Jess Corden, man. He is probably one of the most luckiest people I know. Now, I don't know. For those of you who don't know, Phil Spencer, he got an interview with Phil Spencer right after the CFO thing. I don't know if this was a last minute thing. I don't know. All I know is Jess Corden is a lucky dude to get him right after this interview. We're going to go over the interview. There's a couple things that I want to talk about specifically, but I think it's going to be an engaging. It's a written article. I think you guys will enjoy this article. There's a couple. Obviously, he asks him when it comes to whether or not there's going to be, another Xbox. Are they going third party? And let's read what Jess says. He said, "I asked Phil about the CFO Tim Stewart recently comments regarding Xbox Game Pass. Stewart, in presentation with Wells Fargo, said that Microsoft's aim was to bring Xbox Game Pass to any screen that can play games and continue to make sure they feel great about their investment in what we've built."
It's not all that interesting, especially again. I guess there's nothing. Like it would be. Tomorrow I'll play something. I'll probably play something a little different. Just I might do like an earlier stream that day instead of doing a night stream. I get to bed early so I can take care. Yeah, light on Sunday. Oh, that yeah. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully you guys enjoyed stream, fun, learn some new stuff. You gotta make sure I tagged people properly on Twitter and all that. So if I use any of their content like Breakwing Gaming, Dirk, Panda, Vivian Jade, Keith. Look at Echo. I looked a little bit at that game to Harbor, Tennis Ace, Don Chorus, and that one guy with the AK video. See you later, guys. Thank you guys so much.